Okay, good morning class. So in this lecture, we will discuss Lesson 4, Balanced Scorecard. The Balanced Scorecard was originally developed by Dr. Robert Kaplan of Harvard University and Dr. David Norton. So this is used as a framework for measuring organizational performance using a more balanced set of performance measures. Because traditionally, companies use only short-term financial performance as the measure of success. So usually, what has been used is the net income, the profit margin, and others. So the balanced scorecard added additional non-financial strategic measures to the mix in order to better focus on long-term success. So it is now actually considered a fully integrated strategic management system. So this balanced scorecard approach provides a clear prescription as to what companies should measure in order to balance the financial perspective. So the balanced scorecard is focused on the strategy of the organization as a whole. So a strategy is essentially the theory about how to achieve the organization's goals. So this balanced scorecard consists of an integrated set of performance measures that are derived from and will support the company's strategy. So here, under this approach, the top management translates its strategy. What is the strategy of the company? Into performance measures that employees can understand and influence. So for example, the company's strategy is on quality leadership. So this quality leadership strategy will be translated into performance measures like the number of defective products, quality control, and others. So employees can really understand and influence those performance measures. So the purpose of balanced scorecard is therefore to translate an organization's mission and strategy into a set of performance measures that provides framework for implementing the strategy. So there are 4 performance measures of balanced scorecard. We have financial. So financial, we already know that it is more on profitability measures. So we are talking here about returns, profit margins, what else? Net income, turnovers, and the like. Second performance measure is about the customer. So here we are talking about market segment measures. We are talking about market penetration. We are talking about market share. Third, we have internal business processes. So internal business processes is focused on creating value for customers and shareholders. So it may focus on innovation process, like creating products and services to meet the needs of the customers. It may focus on the operations process, like on producing and delivering existing products and services to meet the needs of the customer, so more on logistics. We also have post-sale service, like providing service after the sale of the product or service. So we have the fourth one, we have the learning and growth. So learning and growth focuses about capability measures, like employees training and others. Okay, so here, let's reiterate. So let's start with a balanced scorecard can start from top to bottom or bottom to top. No, it depends on how you translate. No, so let's look at organizational capacity or learning and growth. So we are focusing on human capital. So of course, businesses have also the most important resource is the human capital, the infrastructure and technology, and the culture, workplace culture. For internal processes, we are talking about efficiency, quality, productivity, and others. Customer and stakeholder, we are talking about customer value, the satisfaction, customer satisfaction, and customer retention, customer loyalty. Financial or stewardship, we are talking about financial performance and effective resource use. So again, the balance scorecard lays down the actions or the concerns that we must do to translate the strategy to performance measures. So as you can see here, we started with a vision and strategy. So we look at how we can achieve those strategy by these performance measures. Okay, so this is an excerpt from the article of Dr. Kaplan and Dr. Norton from Harvard Business Review magazine. So we can see here that the balance scorecard links all the 4 performance measures. So from the financial perspective, it focuses on how do we look to shareholders. So how do shareholders see our performance with respect of achieving the financial perspective? So we enumerate here the goals and the measures. Next, we have the customer perspective. So actually, you may start wherever, no? Because as you can see, it is interconnected, no? Everything is interconnected here. So how do customers see us? Okay, so do we satisfy their needs and their expectations? So we enumerate here the goals as well as the measures. So the same with the internal business perspective. We are focusing at what must we excel at. So what should we be doing that we should excel, no, in leadership or in quality or in cost. And we also have innovation and learning perspective. Can we continue to improve and create value? So can we continue to improve in terms of employee training and others? So again, no, the balance scorecard is an integrated system of performance measures designed to support an organization's strategy. So these various measures in the balance scorecard should be linked on a plausible cause and effect basis from the very lowest level up through the organization's ultimate objectives. So essentially, this balance scorecard is a theory about how specific actions taken by people in the organization will further the organization's objective. So this, the theory is viewed as tentative, no? It is subject to change. So if the actions do not result to improvements, then it should be changed, and then the performance measures on the balance scorecard should also change, no? So this dynamic scorecard, it is a dynamic measurement system that evolves as an organization learns more about what works and what doesn't work, no, and refines its strategy accordingly. So as what we can see here, these are some of the measures, no. So the goals, like for financial perspective, the goal to survive. So we are measuring the cash flow because cash flow is the lifeblood, no. Cash flow is the lifeblood of the business operations, no. If we have problems in cash flow, it will really affect the going concern or survival of our operation. Okay, so we also have, for example, another financial perspective to prosper. No, so we are looking at increased market share and return on equity. Okay, so for customer perspective, so for example, the goal is new products. So the measure would be percent of sales from new products or percent of sales from proprietary products. Okay, so example for internal business perspective. So if our goal is on design productivity, so we may have measure of engineering efficiency and other. For innovation and learning perspective, if our goal is time to market, then we should measure our performance relative to the new product introduction versus competition. How fast are we delivering to the market our products versus our competitors? Okay, so this is just an example, no, of a balanced business scorecard as laid down by Dr. Kaplan and Dr. Norton themselves in Harvard Business Review magazine. So this is another example of performance measures for balanced scorecard. So for the customer perspective, so as you can see, we have desired change here, positive or negative, no? Positive increase, negative reduce, or if not eliminate, no, at least reduce. So for example, customer satisfaction measured by survey results. So our desired change is for that to increase as time goes on. Another is number of customer complaints. So our target change is to reduce, if not totally eliminate, customer complaints. So that is how these things go, no? So another for internal business processes perspective. So let's choose here. So for example, defect-free units as a percentage of completed units. So we want that to increase, no? So we want 100% totally free of defect if that is possible. For we have here for time to settle a customer complaint. So our target for that is to reduce. Okay, so we should settle customers' claim or complaints as soon as we can, no, for customers' satisfaction. Okay, so for learning and growth perspectives, for employee turnover, we want that to reduce, at least reduce, no? Because it is not good that our top people in our organization are leaving so fast, no? So employee turnover means people are coming and go in our organization, and we want them to stay. We want our talented people to stay at our organization. See, what we want this to be a negative, no? We want this to be reduced. Okay, hours of training per employee, we want that to increase, so that if we have skilled and trained employee, we have better operations, and better operations can be translated to customer satisfaction, and customer satisfaction can then be translated into good financial performance. Okay, so again, if our balanced scorecard is correctly constructed, the performance measures again should be linked again together on a cause and effect basis. So therefore, each link on this balanced scorecard can be read as a hypothesis in the form of, if we improve this performance measure A, then this other performance measure B should also improve. So that's how we read, no, the hypothesis in this balanced scorecard. So let's try to look at this example, no, from Garrison, Noren, and Brewer. So an example, so if employees acquire the skills to install new options more effectively, then the company can offer more options, and the options can be installed in less time. So more options available, and it can be installed in less time. Okay, positive, negative. Okay, so as you can see, the links, no? So then, if more options are available and they are installed in less time, then customer surveys should show greater satisfaction with the range of options available. Positive. If customer satisfaction improves, then the number of cars sold should increase. Positive. Then, in addition, if customer satisfaction improves, the company should be able to maintain or increase its selling prices. And if the time to install options decreases, the cost of installing the options should decrease. So therefore, positive on the selling price, negative on the cost, so that's increase in contribution margin. If contribution margin increases and more units will be sold, that would increase our residual income. So this is an example of how we look at balanced scorecard. No? So in balance scorecard, we are not just focused on the residual, on the per financial measures alone. So that is cascaded down to operations such that everyone in the organization knows what is expected of them and knows how they can contribute to attain the company's strategy and goals. Okay? Okay, so for CPA board exam, for balance scorecard, most of the questions for performance measures, we already know that, no? We already know some of them. For customer, it's more on surveys and satisfaction, okay? And for employees, so it's the same qualitative, no? So the other quantitative in balance scorecard can be measured in the internal business process. So this is actually covered in operations management. So let's just discuss these three. So for CPA board exam purposes, if there's questions that would come out from balance scorecard, it would be about delivery cycle time, throughput, manufacturing cycle time, and manufacturing cycle efficiency. So delivery cycle time. So this is the total elapsed time between when an order is placed by a customer and when it is shipped to the customer. Okay? So part of this time is the wait time, which occurs before the order is placed into production. So the rest of the time, the wait time and the throughput time. So this throughput time. So what is this throughput time? So throughput time, or some call this manufacturing cycle, is the total time elapsed between an order is started into production, and when it is shipped to customers. So it consists of process time, inspection time, move time, and QE time. So plus process time plus inspection time plus move time plus QE time. So the only value added activity here is processing time. Inspection time, move time, QE time, and their associated activities do not add value, and therefore they should be minimized. Okay? So manufacturing cycle efficiency is the ratio of value added time, which is our process time, to total throughput time. So this represents the percentage of time an order is in production in which useful work is being done. So the rest of the time do not represent value, so they are non-value added time. So again, MCE is just process time divided by total throughput time. Okay, so let's have self-check number 1 question. Which of the following represents value-added time in the manufacturing cycle? A. Inspection time. B. QA time. C. Move time. And D. Process time. Self-check number 2 question. Throughput time consists of letter A. Process time. Letter B, inspection time and move time. Letter C, process time, inspection time, and move time. And letter D, process time, inspection time, move time, and QE time. Self-check number 3, question. Manufacturing cycle efficiency, or MCE, is computed as letter A, throughput time divided by delivery cycle time. Letter B, process time divided by delivery cycle time. Letter C, value added time divided by throughput time. Or letter D, value added time divided by delivery cycle time. Self-check number 4, question. Apex Corporation has provided the following data for one of its products. Process time 3 days, QE time 4 days, inspection time 0.7 days, move time 0.3 days, wait time 9 days. Question 4.1. The throughput time for this operation would be, Okay, so you answer in days. Okay, question 4.2, the delivery cycle time for this operation would be, okay, so again, answer in days. And 4.3, the manufacturing cycle efficiency for this operation would be closest to, so you answer in ratio or in percentage. Okay, so that ends our lesson. And next lesson coming up will be all about relevant costing and differential analysis. And that would be lesson 1, conceptual overview.